Hey everybody, this is Arthur. Hope you're doing great this morning. I'm just following up on a very interesting story I read. You had a confused man in a dress who said that he didn't feel safe as a so-called transgender person. So he fled from San Francisco. Okay, San Francisco is like the most LGBT affirming, promoting, imposing municipality in the country. And yet, this man in a dress fled the country. He says, I'm going to the Netherlands. The Netherlands is more LGBT affirming. It's more LGBT accepting, safe, all that other stuff. So as soon as this guy shows up, and then he was interviewed by local journalists in the Netherlands, and then he found out, oh my gosh, it's even less safe here, because the country was opening itself up to refugees from North Africa and the Middle East, where many of them are Muslim, and many of them have not just a hostility and an aversion to LGBT everything, but they kill people for engaging in those destructive behaviors. And so he admitted that it was even worse. He ended up moving back to the United States, and then he later admitted that this was the dumbest thing I've ever done. No, the dumbest thing he ever did was pretending to be a woman. Let's be honest. The dumbest thing, the most evil thing, and he did it to himself. He did it to himself, was to give into this lie that he could change his sex. And every other person in his life who enabled that lie should be ashamed of themselves too. But I want to take a further point on this, which is I don't think we in the United States should be trumpeting the fact that, oh, it's okay to be LGBT here. I think that Andy Ogles had a right. There shouldn't be room for normalizing homosexuality, normalizing transgenderism. We shouldn't normalize mental illness, emotional destruction, physical trauma. We shouldn't normalize lies. Like Alexander Solzhenitsyn said, live not by lies. But notice also that in the pursuit of truth, you respect natural law and natural right. No one should be killed because they engage in a confusion. Nobody should be killed because of sexually destructive behaviors that they push on themselves. I do think there has to be sanction. I think the only room for the death penalty would be molesting a child, abusing a child. That's a movement worth pursuing. And you know what? LGBT activists, they oppose those laws. Isn't that interesting? But at any rate, I just think it's so interesting that you see the madness of people who either abuse their bodies with the same sex or insist on pretending to be the opposite sex. They automatically don't feel safe if you don't normalize and celebrate and enable the lie. And you know what? That's their problem. The values that we should be fighting for is not creating safe spaces, but it's standing for truth and ensuring a proper public order for as many as possible. There are some people who insist on corrupting the public space for their own enabling at the expense of everyone else. We can't talk about safe spaces as a final value, because what about the women and girls who are expected to share locker rooms, fitting rooms, and sports teams? They're not safe. So it can't just be safety for all. It has to be adherence to truth. It has to be adherence to natural right. And I think that's a discussion a lot of conservatives are still ignoring. And I want to put that out to you. What do you think?